Can you see what you could be?
All right, you guys, it is time for a Soundwaves TV discussion. I feel like we need our own graphic for that.
Dun, dun, dun. Hey, we got it in stereo.
Nice. We did not plan that. That's scary.
That's
scary.
stupid. It's just stupid.
We are here to talk about the film Bohemian
Idiots.
Rhapsody and all the success.
Because
that it's
everybody's
had.
seen it now. It made $800 million at the box office, so it was a success. It won 4 Academy Awards, so it's a critical success.
Yes.
Rami Malek, Best Actor, big soundtrack sales. Everybody loves the film. I'm watching the movie going, that's not when that song came out.
Oh my God.
That's not when he found out that he had AIDS. Are you kidding? And so the movie drove me, don't get me wrong, I was vastly entertained by it. It's a very entertaining film. I will own it. I will also scream at it every time it's on. But what say you? So me, I'm like, they should at least get the basics right. But, you know, I've been proven wrong by history because it was so damn successful. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm going to call you out because you and I saw it together. We went to
Right.
the movie premiere together. And
Yeah.
then when we got in the truck on our way home, he was the total buzzkill.
I do that.
Because we all got in the truck and we're like, wow, that was amazing. And Rami, as Freddie, you couldn't even you let go, or I did, let go of the fact that it was anyone else but Freddie. I was just amazed. And you were like, yeah, but the year that song came out. And
I know that voice.
I know, right? And don't get me wrong, you guys. I am obviously rock and roll maven, love rock and roll trivia. I was like you. I did notice everything you pointed out. I definitely noticed it. But I wasn't like, I didn't feel like it was a documentary. So if they fudged on things a little, it didn't bother me.
A little?
I know. But you being a movie critic, you really look at those things.
No, I'm a Queen fan.
Well,
and
I am too.
But I'm not even a hardcore Queen fan. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I'm like a slightly better than casual Queen fan, and I'm like, that's not when "We Will Rock You" came out.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
not how that went. I mean, if you can't get the basics right,
Yeah, I was just there to see the celebration of that great music
Yes.
and those great men on screen, and to like be in that, especially the Castro Theater. That's where we
That was
saw
awesome.
that. That was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, that was
to
cool.
see that in that theater and everybody singing along was just really it was heartwarming. And my quick point, and then I want to hear yours, is the best part of this all to me is this a beautiful freaking thing for classic rock. This is
Yeah.
a great thing for
Yeah.
rock because
You're right.
number one, you said it's number 3 in the charts, which anything that helps rock entirely is huge for me personally. And then it also really has inspired a lot of other rock documentaries. Motley Crue just dropped on Netflix. We got Rocket Man coming. I mean, there's a lot going on. So that's my opinion.
Now, see, because you're the sound master,
Yeah.
so you know these things. But there's also part of you way back in the day that was a writer, and you know that you've got to tell a story.
I remember that
You've got, I know it's been, and when you've got a story to tell, you've got an hour and a half, 2 hours to tell a story. You know, and yeah, you're painting with broad strokes in a movie like this. It's not on the History Channel. You know, it's not a documentary. But I do feel your pain, and I'll give you a quick an example. When the movie Hollywoodland came out, we've talked about this before. The
Right,
story
right.
of George Reeves. Now, me, big Superman fan, big George Reeves fan. There was stuff that they did in that movie that was not accurate to what really happened. That I know personally did not happen historically. And me as a big fan, I'm kind of like, I blanched, and I to this day I won't watch it again because of that. Everybody else, you know, people walking out of the theater, oh, that's what happened to George Reeves. You know, and Ed Wood is another great example.
Right.
Love that movie. Love that movie. Bela Lugosi's family and the people that know him go, he wasn't like that. But goddamn, it was an entertaining movie. And it was a great performance.
that's interesting.
You know, it was an Academy Award-winning
I
performance.
get it. The greatest scene in Frost Nixon is when Nixon calls Frost drunk off his ass. Never happened.
Never happened.
Never happened. I get it.
Yeah.
There's poetic license.
So you got to be able to, you know, suspend that disbelief, just like it's, you know, the Enterprise is flying through the universe. There, you suspend your disbelief for that. You got to be able to do the same thing.
I'm
with
glad
this.
you can totally do it because, like, I can't. If something was totally fictional about Freddie Mercury and put in there, I would have walked out probably.
But you didn't walk out.
But
That's
it
what
was time. But you were more worried about the timeline.
No,
it was like,
well, yes. I mean, but
times when albums. But it wasn't like they put an entire made up story about Freddie on film. It was just really the timeline was really fudged.
All right. Well, let's swing the. I'm sorry. You were
No,
gonna,
no, I was going to say, but also you've got members of certain communities that are going, you know, oh, well, they sanitized Freddie's life and they didn't talk
Right.
about his
Right.
lifestyle.
They said they straight washed him.
but
Straight
they didn't.
washed him.
Yeah,
Interesting.
But they didn't.
I didn't
Yeah.
think they
You
did.
know,
Yeah.
no, and even people when Rami took the award and he said something about, you know, telling a gay man's story, you had people who said, but he wasn't gay. He was bisexual. He was, so everybody's got their different take at it. Well, they didn't really, they sanitized his story. No, he was still doing, bisexual things throughout that movie. That was a whole part.
The great love of his life was a woman.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's, at least in the beginning. Yeah, I totally see
So the
your
critique
point.
is in the eye of the beholder with this sort of
totally.
thing.
Well, totally.
Everyone
It
has
seems
their
like
opinions.
everybody was mad at this movie for one reason or another. But I think the thing it had going for it is it had a killer soundtrack.
Oh, God,
At the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. It's like you're bitching about Hollywoodland. If Hollywoodland was scored by Queen, it might be a different story.
I don't know that Hollywoodland would have been scored by Queen, to be honest with you.
My favorite part is it gave a reason for Queen and Rock to open up the Oscars.
Yeah.
That was like, oh my gosh, whenever they open the Oscars.
And some assholes on Facebook say, that was stupid. That sucked. Come on.
They're
There's
assholes.
absolutely
Who
nothing.
cares about 'em?
There's nothing that's
Okay.
going to please you.
They're not our people. We don't care
Final,
about them.
That's right.
final bit of this conversation.
Yes.
Freddie did not live a PG-13 life. They
No.
made a PG-13 movie and it sold a shitload of tickets. So you're looking at Alice Cooper wants a movie about him. You're looking at, Sammy Hagar told you.
Oh, yeah. I interviewed Sammy Hagar and I asked him about this because
Yeah.
it's a hot topic right now.
Right.
And I said, would you want a film made about you? He wrote a book about it and he was like, no, I don't want to see those things on TV or on the film because they would have to be XXX rated. A lot of the things that Sammy and so many of these rock stars have
Right.
done in their lives is XXX rated. And unless you totally wash that all out, it's very hard to make a, big box office kind of film.
Well, you didn't actually see Freddie Mercury or
Yeah.
anything, in Bohemian Rhapsody. So there are ways to tell a story without actually going there.
Well,
I'm
we
just
all
saying.
know what happened.
Exactly.
I got it.
Without seeing it.
Yeah, yes.
My
It's
point,
implied.
though, was...
Go ahead, Dennis. You had something to add to the conversation?
Oh my God. That's going to become a meme. I'm
in the
just
same
saying.
way, you better
Or a
believe it.
GIF, one of the two.
In the same way that we're going to be telling them, because now they've made money, so now they're going to make a lot more of these.
Oh, yeah.
So they're all going to be PG-13. They're all going to be kind of sugar-coated. They're all going to be
Family
like,
friendly.
we want that Queen money out there.
Right,
Is
of
this a good
course.
thing or not?
Oh, no, I don't like that idea.
see?
Yeah, no, you're pulling me to your side there, Dennis.
I will agree though, because rock and roll is supposed to have an edge. It's supposed to be down and dirty and nasty and everything.
Yeah, you can't wash clean Motley Crue enough.
No.
There's just certain bands. Alice Cooper, he's got a really interesting story, but
Right.
there's a lot there,
Yeah.
That you
Yeah.
can't scrub up enough to be PG-13. That's
So
an interesting
somebody's
point.
got to be willing to make that R-rated rock and roll
Exactly.
documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there
What
you
do
go.
you think?
There's our 2
Weigh
cents.
in on this conversation. If you're looking at this on Facebook, we want to hear, that guy's wrong or whatever, So weigh in on it. We want to hear from you. It was a big hit by any barometer. I'm going to go home and listen to my Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack on
There
vinyl.
you go. That we can all agree
Yeah.
on.